Hey everybody, ECW Fan the Collector here, and I have some video games. Oh yeah. Okay guys, I hope you like that little brief little smiling intro, that creepy intro, like, I have some video games. I should have done it like that. I should have done it like Freddy Krueger, like, I have some video games.
Oh, I'm playing with power!
But yeah. Anyhow, this volume will have a bunch of games. There's going to be like, I think 16 games in total. 2 of them I bought online. And I can't wait to detail those. I mean, those 2 games I've been wanting so long, and I was just like looking at the date, like, and I meant to show them in the last volume and talk about them, but I never got around. I never got around to doing it. So today's the volume. Anyhow, it's been about a month or 2 since I got new games, and I went through, and I actually went to the pawn shop a couple times, and I can't wait to show those off soon, but on my Facebook, a guy sent me a link of a new group where people are selling stuff pretty well cheap. And one guy, because I joined it, because, I'm scrolling through, and a guy had a bunch of regular Nintendo games. And I was like, are you selling those 3 games for $1 a piece? And he's like, oh, yeah. Yeah, and he lived locally. He said, unless they're shipping, and he said, I have to ship them out. And I said, actually, I live here in town. And he's like, really? We can meet out then. I'll sell them to you for $1 a piece. So he had his wife meet me. And I got them from her, and I paid her the $1 a piece for these games. And one of them is Wrath of Black Mana for the NES. Another one is Hoops for the NES. And I got Mickey Mousecapades. Now, where are you going to find regular Nintendo games for $1 a piece anymore? It's almost even crazy, And one of the guys in the group said, man, I wish I'd seen it sooner, man. Richard, you got lucky. I was like, well, I said, it happens. And I kind of wish he had met me out, because I was going to ask him if he had any PlayStation 3 games that he was selling for cheap and stuff. But alas, poor ECW fan, he did not meet me out. But he was nice enough to send his wife out to do it. And it's a nice site. I can't wait to buy more stuff off him if he got it. So yeah. Moving on to the pawn shops now. And the pawn shops have been pretty well kicking it. There's been some people turning stuff in. I think they're selling stuff to get stuff in for the spring, new stuff, and I'm kind of happy with that. I'm still looking at, to add to my PlayStation 3 collection, and I did that with these 3 games here, which Eddie is still like, why the hell would you pick these up? Eddie, you have to know, they're from my collection, buddy. I'm collecting PlayStation 3 games, and I got 3 for $1, and they are FIFA Soccer 12, or football, as they call it over in the UK, and this game has never been opened. Brand new, never been opened. I've got some soccer games. I like some sports games. I got Madden 07, and this is one of the Madden games I needed. And the player on this is Shaun Alexander. He played for the Seahawks. He had like a couple seasons of great stats, really good. And this is when the Seahawks went to the Super Bowl that one year in the mid-2000s, and he literally got robbed. I mean, there was a penalty that was so flagrantly not a penalty. I mean, you could just shake your head like, what are they seeing out there? And but yeah, the Seahawks that went to the Super Bowl, Shaun Alexander was a key player behind it, with Matt Hasselbeck, who had become a quarterback. He'd become a very good quarterback for the Seahawks those seasons. And that was before Russell Wilson arrived. But Alexander played a couple seasons, did the Madden cover, and his career ended quick because running backs in the NFL traditionally do not have long careers. Their bodies take too much punishment. And it's the rare unicorn player like maybe Frank Gore that can play up until they're 40 and still look impressive carrying the football. But players like Sean Alexander get beat up. They can't take, after a while. And after 30, a running back's career starts to, they're on the clock. But moving on from football, I got Tiger Woods PGA Tour 08. And I've got a few of these Tiger Woods games. And if anybody don't remember, every time I look at a Tiger Woods PGA game, I think of that South Park episode. If anybody don't remember that episode, okay, basically the kids are playing this Tiger Woods game. And at the time, Tiger was leaving his wife. Him and his wife was separating because of the affairs he had. And so it's like she was beating the crap out of him in every game and chasing him and hunting him down. Tiger, you son of a bitch. And she was like beating him. And after they patched the game, after it was like normal, everything was normal, the kid's like, this game sucks, man. I haven't played, the last golf game I used to play, and I kind of wish that dude had it, was the golf game for NES. That was a very fun game. I remember renting that a couple times. Now, after those 3 for $1 sports games, which had Eddie puzzled why I would pick them up, I actually got a couple weeks later, I got some Xbox 360 games. Yep, Eddie, I picked up some Xbox 360. And the thing with the Xbox 360 to me is there's a reason why I don't have many games in my collection. It's condition. I mean, a lot of these games are just in terrible shape, man. It's like somebody took and ate basically a meal off the discs. I mean, the discs look in shit shape at times. I've popped up in many a game and please let the disc be okay. Look at it. I know you could buff the games, but they're not going to take out some of these scratches. I mean, some of these scratches look like somebody, like I said, they've taken the disc and just ran it on the floor, and they polished the floor brightly with the disc. But anyhow, I picked up these 3 games. I picked up Tropico 5, which is pretty nice. Tropico 5. I picked up Platinum Hits Dead Rising. Shop Till You Drop. Chop Till You Drop. And I thought, I'm going to pick the original, Xbox 360 game up for that. And like I said, amazingly, these discs were in good shape. Because like I said, there's been many a time I popped open discs on the Xbox 360 and just shook my head in anger. Because you really want the game. And you're looking and you're like, son of a... you just want to cuss them out, I picked up this for the Xbox. It's an original Xbox. I guess it would be for the Xbox 360. It's Big Bumpin' with the King. I've got 2 of the Burger King games. There's actually a 3rd one, which I'm pretty sure I'll never find. But Big Bumpin' is one I had, and I actually traded it into a place. I think it was over at Cheap Thrills one time. But I'm glad to have it back. And like I said, all 3 of these are in good shape, Xbox-wise. Now, let's move it on. Let's move it on to the Vita. And PlayStation Vita games are getting harder for me to find. I mean, I've picked up some, I've tried to find some, but over the last 2 years, I found 2 in the wild. And it's just the price point, man. A lot of people want crazy prices for the Vita games. So I was in a pawn shop, and I saw this one for a couple bucks. And I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get it. And the case is like in this little jewelry case, like they put rings in. But this is the little Vita. It's Tearaway. The Vita right there. Tearaway. So yeah. I'm going to present this to the next lady I see. But that's it for Vita. Like I said, I wish I could find more Vita games. I really wish I could. There's like 3 or 4 Vita games I wish I could find. But they're hard as heck to find. But I did pick up some Xbox One games from my collection. And CJ was with me on this. And I actually went in... Or no, he's with me on one of these, actually. Sorry. But the other one I actually picked up is one from Cheap Thrills. I went in there and I found this one. It was FIFA 17. They had it on clearance. Yeah. FIFA Soccer 17. And I don't know why I keep getting these cheap sports games, man. And like I said, you can find them and... I've got a couple of these FIFA games. And that grows my Xbox One's collection a little bit. Another one I picked up was Watch Dogs for the Xbox One. It's cheap, not expensive. I've got it for the PlayStation 4. So I went ahead and picked it up for this console, being as cheap as it is. And that's it for the Xbox One. Now for the PlayStation 4, there's actually 5 games I've got. And 2 of these I meant to show off last video and I forgot. But, okay. I picked up, off the PlayStation Store, I picked up Persona 3 Portable. Yeah, that's a good game. That's one I've been waiting on for the longest time. I was like, man, I just want that game so bad for the console, just to play it and have trophy support. And man, when it finally came out, I was like, yes. And I was like, I just wished it had a physical copy. If they had a physical copy, that would be so much better. I'm a physical copy person. I don't like buying digital games. But I bit the bullet and done it. I bought it. Now, the other one I got is Persona 4 Golden. Golden was one that I was like, man, I played it for the Vita. I've got over 200 hours in. I was telling CJ about it. Damn good game. Persona 4 is really when I started getting the Persona series. And I've told everybody about it. And 4 to me is really good. The music, the school atmosphere, going into the dungeons.
Great graphics.
I gotta get my walkthrough out. I gotta get my video, because that's the thing about it. You have your phone walkthrough to do all the social links, and 4 really gets serious into it, like 5. But both Persona 5 and then Persona 5 Royale, I love the Persona games, and that's one thing I like about them. And there's rumors they're going to, Atlus is going to remaster 3. They're going to put out a new remaster of 3, which would be kind of darn cool. Because I've been liking 3 so far. I like there's like an X-Men vibe of the series. Like these kids have, they're at the school, and I'm like, damn, this is playing like the X-Men in a way. So that's the 2 digital games I got. Now it's time to get to the physical games. And one of these games I picked up at a pawn shop was called Putty Squad, and it's a platformer. There's 50 levels, and it's a platformer game. I picked it up just for that. I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and pick that up. It's a weird game, and I like weird games. And I was like, I'm gonna go ahead and get that. Putty Squad. Joining the squad. Putty Squad. I picked up. This one is a unique one. It's a story-driven game, and I like story-driven games, and it's got a mystery to it. It's called The Raven Remastered. And a guy told me at the pawn shop this is based off a computer game, and they put it out for this one. So I was like, I'm going to go ahead and get that. I'm going to get The Raven Remastered. And that's the thing about me. I always take chances on these story-driven games because I kind of like stories at times, and if you got choices, and you can make bad choices and good ones. And part of me, is tempted to go through and make all the worst choices and just tick everybody off in the story, but this is kind of cool. And finally, the last one I got is a PlayStation 4, a near launch game of the PlayStation 4. And if nobody remembers this, it's called Knack. The Adventure Awaits. And Knack 2 actually came out for the PlayStation 4. I think this one came out near the first of the launch. This one actually came out near the Order 1886 and that. And I don't think Knack is really is considered that good a game, but man, this game was hard as hell to find, man. I would go in stores looking for Knack and the Computer Whiz and stuff, and they would never have it. I don't know what it was about this one game. And so I was kind of happy to pick it up. And looking, I'm looking at the publisher, and it's really not telling the publisher name on here, on the front cover. I don't know what it is. I don't know who done this game. So it's just really unique. Maybe it tells inside. Let's see. I guess Sony Studios put this out. I guess the main Sony studio put this out. But yeah, Knack was one that took me a while to find, but I'm kind of happy to get it. And I can't wait to play it. Knack. Knack. I can't say the rest of the song because I want to keep my channel. But yeah. Give the dog a bone, baby. Yeah. But yeah, here we go. Baby. Now, but that's it. That's the pickups. Nothing major. No earth-shattering PlayStation 5 games really this round. But hey, not going to complain. I picked up some good Xbox One. Picked up some good Xbox 360. And I do have Knack to play.